Hi, this is Sandy. Welcome back to Enchanted Pine Sewing. So today, what I wanted to do was address one of the little elephants in the room that happens when you sew, and that is, what do you do with projects that no longer seem to have a use, but you can't get rid of them? And if you're anything like me, you get attached to the things that you make because you know you put the effort into it, or you know that you had a specific purpose for it, and it feels wrong to just be like, I want to throw this away, or this is going to the thrift shop. Now, sometimes there are things that, yeah, I have no problem with that. I pulled out a couple of bags of things that had been in some storage and was taking up too much space this morning while I was cleaning up. And first thing I realized, I got to go through this. So I've been through it once, and I eliminated a couple of things that are unexciting, can just go to the thrift shop, somebody will use them, all good. Some clothing that I'd made. And then I find things like this. So this was my very first sewing machine cover. This was Kaffe before I knew who Kaffe was and really liked Kaffe Facet fabrics. I just knew the fabrics were bright and colorful, and I had some templates, and I did flying geese all up and down the side, and I've got these big stars, kind of cubes on the side. And now the inside of this, I had simply lined with white, and I had basically done stitch in the ditch quilting. So now the more I look at this, the more I'm thinking this wants to become a bag, because while it went onto my sewing machine like this, it looks pretty good this way. So this has now prompted me to want to look at projects and see what I can do to repurpose them. And I would love to have any ideas, suggestions, brainstorm with me if you have an idea. If something jumps out at you and say, wow, that would be really cool. So the idea here is, if you're anything like me, you probably have stuff sitting around that you probably could repurpose and, upcycle your own upcycles, or upcycle your own sewing a little bit. So potential bag here. And not only do I have that, I also have this version of it. Same idea, just with the cool fabrics. Except this time, this was for my serger. And this one, I did do kind of a star pattern on the front and back. And I did triangles all around the side, because this being a little deeper, it needed more space. And again, I'm thinking tote bag, very likely to become a tote bag. So those are two easy upcycles right there. Now, somewhere in the middle of this, I just realized my little buddy Anna here had crawled into the pile. Oh my goodness. This is Anna. She's such a sweetheart. So maybe now what I could find is something to make a cat carrier out of, because she likes to be close, and she likes to be away from her brother Fergus, who sometimes is a total sweetheart and sometimes is a complete pain in the butt, because he wants to constantly be messing with her. So maybe, I don't know, I'm just playing with this. This is sort of a random idea. Yeah, what do you think, baby? What do you think? Should mommy try making you a cat carrier? I don't know about that. But this item that I got a little Miss Anna sitting in here right now is kind of what I would call a bag fail. And this is going all the way back here. There you go, Anna. This is, well, one thing that's really cool about this is really, really early Tula. Okay. So get a look at this. This, I think, is the original Full Moon Forest. You can see the owls. So part of me just says deconstruct. Deconstruct. Get the owls apart there. I can see right where my sewing at the top, things wore and didn't work out really well. I had tried to make something where I was copying a bag I had seen at a craft store that was a scrapbook bag, because I did a lot of scrapbooking at the time. I still scrapbook. I need to get back into that. Anyway, so I made this big enough that it could hold folders of 12 by 12 paper. It even can hold one of those 12 by 12 boxes, but it's not interfaced, because I was so new to bag making. I did not understand that there had to be like puffy, foamy interfacing in the bags that I saw that were giving them structure. And I just couldn't quite find that kind of fabric. And I said, well, this looks nice. I guess I can make this work. I didn't realize that you got to have interfacing. So this feels like it needs a rework, whether it becomes some sort of cat carrier or another bag, or I deconstruct it. I don't know. Now, there's other things here that are a little bit more difficult. This, and if you ever were a Joann's fan, you might even recognize this fabric. This was in the silky prints for a long time, and it is a gorgeous dress. The only problem with this dress is this dress and I no longer match up size to size. Thank you, menopause. Anyway, these things happen. So part of me wants to make it into something else, but the other part of me says, no, this is really pretty, and I can put this in the thrift shop, and somebody else may actually get some wear out of it and enjoy it, and that feels like the right thing to do. Now this got some cat hair on it here. So this, if you are a teenager in the 80s, you may recognize this as a Gunny Sacks dress, Jessica McClintock. And this one is not sewn. This is an actual, the real deal that I got way, way back before my high school graduation. So this was my high school graduation dress. And it is still a really light, airy, well, it's still beautiful fabric with beautiful lace. And I think I'm going to wash this and put this someplace safe so that someday I could actually see this, like if I had a grandchild, making a lovely christening gown or something. I don't know, but it is very sentimental and can't quite throw that away. I can't think of a project where I would deconstruct it right now, though. So that needs to go into safekeeping. Now, some other odd things here. The very first time that I went to Disney World and stayed on Disney property, I was in college with some of my friends, and we went for spring break, and we stayed at the Caribbean Beach Resort. And you can tell it was in the 90s. This design just screams out 90s, has the same little one on here. And I am a huge Disney fan, and I've gone many times, but now I'm thinking this is going to get upcycled into something special Disney, whether it becomes part of another outfit or it becomes some sort of bag or other souvenir type item. I don't know, but that needs to be upcycled. Okay. These are hard to part with because, first of all, look how cute. It's this little girl's hat. It's got the little tie in the back, and you can reverse it. It's Tinkerbell on one side and monkeys on the other, both of which, and you can change how it reverses by the buttons. So whether you want the buttons visible or not, and it has this really cute brim. So part of me loves this fabric. It says it's really sentimental. The other part of me says maybe somebody would buy it at a thrift store and use it for a child. And then it would get some good use. And then I also have this one, also super cute. Look at the little kitties. And this one just reverses to purple on the back. Another one I made for her. It had a whole matching outfit. So the more I think about it, the less I'm likely to deconstruct that. Now, this. Oh, what do we got here? So this fabric is fabulous. The only problem with this, if you can guess by looking at the neckline, this one just came out. Well, this one made a lot of things come out. Not my best sizing on it, but the fabric itself is gorgeous. And this, I forget which designer it was, but it was a designer that had been at Joann's, and I absolutely love the fabric. So my thought is this gets reworked somehow into something that will not leave my girls jumping out the top. So that goes into the rework it pile. All right. Next up, we have a skirt. And it was made with a quilting cotton. And yes, it's very pretty. And it's a fitted skirt, which again, sometimes, once menopause has shown up and just redistributed some of the things that I made in my 30s are not working in my 50s. And I don't have a problem with that. But I really like this fabric. So, and I have large unused sections of it. So part of me is tempted to remove the waistband and take out the zipper and just turn it into an elastic waist skirt that I can wear with shorts under it. And I think that would be super cute. Or making something else because I really love the fabric. And I know I bought this on a trip to Sedona. Not that it has anything to do with Sedona. There's a little part of me that goes sentimental because I know where I got it. Now, here's another one. Look at this fabric. How beautiful is this? And it is a very silky tweed kind of fabric. You can see up close. It's so pretty. But now, okay, the skirt and I, no. It's not going to happen. On the other hand, how beautiful would that be in a bag? So I think that is going to the repurpose pile. All right. Another skirt here. This one, I think this is actually the same. I think this might be the same pattern as the other one I just showed you because, again, beautiful fabric, but I'm not going to try to squeeze myself into something that no, it's not happening. That's not fun to wear. If you're wearing something because, it was expensive or I made it or whatever, but it's not comfortable to wear, it's not fun to wear, no, you need to do something else with it. Either somebody else can have it or repurpose it. So this, I think, is going to get repurposed. Maybe into another skirt, one that, like I said, if I can wear it with like a little short, like Nike Pro type bike shorts underneath, those are always great. Now, this fabric, okay, we used to have a store near where I live that sold so much heirloom sewing type fabric, a lot of fabric finder stuff. And if you've done heirloom sewing, you know about fabric finders. They have lovely fabric. Oh, I see Anna's back. All right, trouble. Okay, so this has this really cute like Paris design, and I've got some piping already in here. It's got some stretch to it. So I don't necessarily see myself turning this into a skirt. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a bag of some sort. I want to kind of keep that piping and work with it there. I just know it, even if I can't get it on, it's still going to look good. So that needs redone. All right, Miss Thing, get off of this. There we go. Okay, so this pattern, this dress, again, has this Gorgeous fabric. Love the fabric. The dress, it's like too wide at the shoulders, a little tight at the bust. Things pop up. Not doing that. So trying to decide here what this would like to become. Again, it might decide it wants to be a skirt. I don't know. I have this really nice zipper in it. Oh, and I forgot the zipper actually, and this is the design of the dress. The zipper actually is in the front. I almost forgot about that. So repurpose. Okay. What you find in here, Anna? So there are a number of odd items. There's another dress right here. This one, something about the colors and the fabric always just kind of gave me a vibe that said Provence. And it's so pretty. I love how all the fabrics and the colors go together. I hate that this one doesn't fit me. But again, my body in my 50s versus my 30s, not the same. And I'm okay with that. But I think this one is going to go in like the thrift shop giveaway pile because I don't want to mess it up just to reuse the fabric because it's still a pretty good dress. And it was one that came out pretty well. Some of the ones I'm putting over here, I don't see them as the greatest loss to mankind. Okay, little bit. You're going to move. There you go. Get on down. So here's another item I found. And you may notice the fabric is Boy Scouts. And also that I had put grommets in, and the grommets didn't quite last the test of time. Also, I tried to make this like a kind of a sling bag. It was meant to be, you can see I did the fleur-de-lis on there with my embroidery machine. So this was meant to hold like, I think scout books. And I want to repurpose this a little bit. I don't want to totally get rid of it. See if my boys have some Scout memorabilia that maybe they want to save in this, or even my husband, he's an Eagle Scout. So either way, this is going to get a similar purpose, but still a repurpose because the funky stuff happening with some of my grommets is not okay. All right. Now, here's an odd one. This was something I had made as a camera insert, and I think I put some Peltex inside it, maybe a little fusible fleece, but I made it as sort of a camera insert to put inside a backpack. I don't know what's going on with this one, but I'm not super jazzed about that fabric anymore. I think this was like the lid to cover it, but not going to worry about that. Okay, next up. If you have kids with bunk beds, you might have made something like this, or just a bed. No, Anna. Oh my gosh, anything with strings, my cat is losing it. So this is one of those bedside kind of pocket. No, Anna. Anyway, it has all these pockets, and it is lined. I lined it with some royal blue, like pinwheel corduroy. And again, this is feeling sort of bag vibes. It's giving bag. What kind? Not sure, but repurpose. All right. And similar one here. This is a little bit smaller, but look how fun the fabric is. Motorcycle cats. So again, I'm going to have to figure out how I want to use this. There's some pockets here. This is backed with the same fabric, so maybe the pockets want to go to the inside, but repurpose. And I have one more of these. This is, I think, from the same pattern, just not quite as long. But look at the cats with the newspapers. Isn't that fun? I think I still have some of this fabric. But this one... well, this one has a couple of odd stains here. So this one needs a trip through the wash. And if I can wash some of that out, then repurposing to a bag. Otherwise, yeah, that just may not happen. Okay. And so that brings me down to a few things that are really hard to let go. and that is kids' crafts. So I always thought the people at the preschool were like masters of the handprint and footprint crafts. And a little part of me wants to take this and make it into some sort of holiday pillow and look. Oh, that was also from the same child. The wreath, isn't that cute? And if I can't bring myself to do that, I'm going to take a picture and it's going to go, because there's literally no reason why this is taking up storage. I don't want to forget about it because it was cute. And he was like 3. And he's now almost 26. But it definitely needs something done to it. I'm not sure. This fell into the pile. And a little part of me says these fingertip towels are just not practical. But I might consider repurposing. If I can figure out a good way to repurpose this slightly, I may repurpose some other ones that I have that are similar to that. So I'm going to take this on as a challenge to myself. And then down to the last few things, I have a t-shirt that was from an event I went to long time ago. Part of me said do a pillow. The other part of me said don't take it to the thrift shop. It's too specific. I think this one might actually go to the rag pile after I take a picture and just file that away for the sentimental reasons. Now, this is a t-shirt from Cheer Extreme. My daughter cheered with Cheer Extreme. And I thought these holiday shirts they did one year were just really cute. Only problem is it has been worn to so many competitions and washed so many times, it's starting to come apart in some places. But the actual area where, the transfers are and the design is still pretty good. And it is front and back. And no, ma'am, don't do that. So I am seriously thinking about turning this into a pillow cover that I could bust out because it's kind of winter themed around the holidays or in January, just for fun and sentimental reasons, because my daughter was with Cheer Extreme for a really long time growing up and had such a great experience there. Okay, here's the last item. And this is something. Okay, so you can see here, I have a Garfield cross stitch where I added Hofstra University. That is my alma mater. And I just like this Garfield. He's sitting there. He's got his drink. He's got his sunglasses and what looks like an 80s bottle of Coppertone. And I made the beach towel be the blue and yellow for Hofstra and added the purple just because I liked it. And then I'd made this into a pillow with my mother's help. And the back of this, wait till I show you the back. Aside from the fact that obviously the ribbons have seen better days, and they used to be kind of draped and attached over here. Obviously, there's some old eyelet lace, but this is bad. So we have taffeta. And this is what has happened to this poor pillow over the years. And it was not purple to start with. It was royal blue. Sometimes things just age. So we're starting with this bad boy. And it is definitely coming off very easily. The taffeta on the back is just about ready to tear itself. It is tearing itself off. And this is not even a real pillow in here. We had stuffed it. Ugh. Okay, that is all going to go in the trash in just a moment before my cat decides to play with it. And these ribbons are looking pretty sad. And I think I am going to, after I finish getting all of this now purple fabric off the back, this is so bad I could just tear it. Oh my gosh. That is something else. But now I can finish taking this off here, and I'm going to try and soak it in a little something, a little gentle detergent, because there's a couple of small stains. And then it wants to be something else. It may go on a picture frame. It could possibly go on a new pillow. Oh, wow. I wasn't always the neatest cross stitcher on the back. I do much better now when I do it. But I was a teenager, so there it is. So there you have it. projects that were taking up space that are hard to get rid of, for sentimental reasons, and it's time to repurpose. So, like I said, if you have any crazy suggestions, ideas I hadn't thought of or mentioned, I would love to hear from them, hear from you about them. And I will be coming back to these projects in some later videos. And that is what I have to share with you today. So please, if you have made it this far, please hit like, subscribe, and follow me for some more sewing content. We're going to do all kinds of things. This is kind of different from what I did in my first couple of videos. And I look forward to mixing it up and sharing my sewing journey with you. Bye-bye.